the prettiest candidate wins. Scott Brown for frickin' Senate. Woo! Scott Brown posed nude. He's so pretty. He's so pretty. He posed nude, naked. Nude, naked. He posed nude, naked. He posed naked in Cosmo. He posed in the nude. Naked as, naked is. What a complete slut. Posing in nude in Cosmo so all the gay men out there, everywhere, can masturbate to his image. It's obscene. What a fucking pervert. And they say he's a family man. Well, I'm sure him and Mitt Romney make a wonderful couple. And they must thank their lucky stars that they live in Massachusetts where two grown men can love each other and get married. I just wonder which one is the top. I just wonder how they can tell each other apart. I just wonder which one is the top. I just wonder how they can tell each other apart. I just wonder which one's the top. I just wonder how they can tell each other apart. Sure, Scott Brown is a good-looking guy, and he's a lot prettier than Martha Coakley. Oh, Martha, 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 baby, you should have posed nude in Cosmo, too. Can you only imagine? Or better yet, Scott Brown and Martha Coakley, they should have done a spread together in Hustler. Then we'd have two senators in one seat. Sure, Scott Brown is a good-looking guy on the outside. Sure, Scott Brown is a good-looking guy on the outside, but what about what's on the inside? He wants tax cuts for all those rich folks. That's gross. He wants Wall Street and the banks to be able to walk all over us and fuck us and rob us on a daily. Nasty. That's nasty. He doesn't really support a woman's right to choose at all. That's ugly. You know, he held Ray Romney care with Mitt, his boyfriend, husband, mate, partner. But he vowed to vote against Obamacare, which is like exactly like Romney care, thereby not allowing regular people affordable health care. It's despicable. He doesn't believe in waterboarding is torture. He doesn't believe waterboarding is torture at all, even though it's been classified as torture for over 100 years. That's pure evil. So don't be fooled by the pretty packaging. You can't judge a book by its cover unless, of course, it's the Republican playbook where they repeat their propaganda like a mantra in an echo chamber until the general public believes their lies and distortions as reality. Sure, Scott Brown is a good-looking guy, and Martha Coakley is not a good-looking guy at all. But to me, their stance on marijuana is just the same. It's ugly. We finally get decriminalization of marijuana in Massachusetts, and these two still want to persecute you for smoking weed. They both wanted to raise the $100 fine to $1,000. $1,000. I guess it's better than doing time, but $1,000, come on. I guess if you're Scott Brown, you can afford that kind of shit, but you know, I'm not Scott Brown. They both ignored the will of the people. If it was up to them, folks would be doing hard time for a soft crime. It's cruel and unusual punishment to put a person in jail for smoking weed, to ruin their lives, to destroy their families. And what does jail to you but turn a pot smoker into a hardened criminal or a rape victim? The drug war is nothing more than a war against the poor. Repeat. The drug war is nothing more than a war against the poor. The drug war is nothing more than a war against the poor. The drug war is nothing more
than a war against the poor.
What? The drug war is nothing more than a war against the poor. Bring it on, Doug War. Doug War in the house. He's got a bionic heart. Thanks a lot, Doug, for surviving. My buddy Doug War, seriously, just got his chest cut open and he's got a piece of fucking technology in there now. Buy Doug can you drink, Doug?
Wine.
Wine. So, buy my good friend Darryl Shepard, a.k.a. Doug War, from our good band Drug War. A glass of wine. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah, the drug war is nothing more than a war against the poor, because rich kids like George W. Bush can do all the cocaine they want. If they ever get busted, their rich daddies always get them off. But if I ever get busted with cocaine, I go to jail, I get brutalized, and I don't have to fight for my life. Your freedom in this country is directly proportionate to your wealth. That's how it goes. The legal system is just like that. If you got money, did you know if they find you growing a few plants in your backyard, not only will you go to jail, but for putting a seed in the ground and letting Mother Nature take its course, but they will also take your house, your car, your property, and your bank account. They make this false claim that all these things were funded by these few plants in your backyard. Scott Brown and Martha Coakley both support this idea. I say, we take that idea to use it to fix our broken economy. We just treat all those CEOs and bankers that bankrupted our economic system and gave themselves multi-million-dollar bonuses in the process. We just treat them like they grew a couple of marijuana plants in their backyard. That's all. We arrest them, we liquefy the assets, and make them pay for all the damage that they caused. It's that simple. Think about it, seriously, like, I read about a small woman that was growing weed in her backyard for her husband because her husband had cancer, and like, the cops came, arrested her husband, they took their house, their cars, their property, and like, oh, well, you know, that's not how the drug world works, man. You know, we're gonna take what you got and say that's how you got it because of the green, and even if they can't prove it, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. Scott Brown's a good-looking guy, but his pickup truck is even nicer. It looks even better. Guys with pickup trucks voted for the pickup. Because Scott Brown is not a regular guy like them. If you watch his ad where he drives around in his truck, just look at the mansion that he parks it at the end of the ad. Regular people, pickup truck guys, don't live in houses like that. They'll be lucky to be able to work on a house like that. Scott Brown owns 5 properties, while the rest of us are lucky to maybe even own 1. His supporters say in his defense that two of those properties are rental properties in Brighton, as if to lower their worth. Shit, I rent in Brighton. Damn. Maybe he's my landlord. I hope he doesn't hear this on YouTube, because I think my rent might be going up, right? But Scott Brown does look good. He looks really good. He's like one of those guys, you know, that people like, you know, because he looks so good. People are so brainwashed by television that if a person looks good, they think they like them. Oh, he looks good. I like him. He's a guy I could have a beer with. Just like when Bush was running against Gore, Bush was the guy that people felt that they could have a beer with, as Gore was too boring and intellectual, you know. Like, we can't have a beer with Gore, but I can have a beer with I can have a beer with Bush, as if that's what it takes to run the country. But people, like, ignored the fact that Bush is a raging alcoholic and that he can't drink beer anymore. So you can sit down with Bush, but you can't have a beer with him because he's born again, sober. So Scott Brown is likable, and people want to drink beer with him. Well, if that's all it takes, then I'm happy to announce my candidacy for the Massachusetts seat in the U.S. Senate. I am likable, I'm good looking, and damn it, people like to drink beer with me. My first order of business was to buy a round for everybody. So bartender, show your vote and tip the bartender. That's how you do it. That's how I know you're voting for me, when you tip the bartender good, and I'm like, how were the tips tonight? He's like, fantastic. That's how I know I'm running a fucking fair, straight campaign that people are going to be able to get behind. All right, so that's my first order of business, is to take care of the drinks. So then, because I hope running for the Senate doesn't mean I can't smoke weed anymore, because my second order of business is to get everybody high on the kindness. Yeah! Yeah, of course. And then my third order of business would be to set up a bank of the U.S. Treasury, sidestepping the privately owned Federal Reserve to create a safe banking system for real money, safe for the people to save, safe for the people to save, safe for the people to save, safe for the people to save. And because the Federal Reserve has taken our monetary system off the gold standard, I propose all monies from the bank of the U.S. Treasury to be put on the green standard. Money backed by the value of kindness. Money backed by the value of marijuana. A pound of kindness is worth more than a pound of gold. So in 2 years, vote for me, Dayatri, Democrat for the U.S. Senate. Thank you very much. I'm seriously going to run. I'm gonna run. People like me. People can drink beer with me. You can drink beer with me. Let's drink beer right now. Let's talk politics. Anybody have any questions?